Hello and welcome, everybody. Bruce Jones here, and welcome to an afternoon. And I'm going to be doing in this show, I am going to be formatting a Kindle book. We've been getting a lot of questions about formatting, how to take your book and put it, set it up as a Kindle book, as a Kindle ebook on a reader. And so I thought it's been on my schedule for a long time to sort of put together some training on using Kindle Create and making Kindle books. And I thought, well, this is the time to jump in on it. So my plan is, we all have plans. My plan is to make this as a series of videos, maybe 4 videos on creating books for Kindle. So this first video is going to be on doing basically a standard traditional ebook, the same kind that you have whenever you buy any kind of novel or fiction, just mostly text. But the Kindle Reader and the Kindle Create can create a wide variety of books. So a second video would be taking a book kind of like this book, my recent book, and it has a lot of graphics and things like in it, a lot of different stuff that goes on in this book. There's pictures everywhere, and show you my methodology of how I would take a book like this. This is very different than a textbook, just a regular straight textbook. Take a book like this and turn it into a Kindle book. A third kind of Kindle book is to take a PDF. You can take a PDF, put it into Kindle Create, and I'll be talking about this in a moment, and turn it into an ebook. And then the fourth video, which may actually be the second video, will be on making a cover. Show you how to do that, because that's been one of the questions, is where are the cover graphics? Where does that sit in the mix? So is it inside the Word file? Is it not? Where is it? All that kind of stuff. So what I'm going to do is I am going to, let's bring this up here. I am going to be using this. And if you have questions, post them. I'll probably get more to the end so I can just kind of keep a flow going. But if you have questions, put them in there and I'll try to deal with them. But I'm going to just take and work with this ebook. So I did a summit recently. Actually, let me make this a little bit bigger so you can see it. I did a summit recently, and for the summit, and this was my topic for the summit, how to create a book. And I wrote a book for the summit. It was sort of a workbook that went with the summit. So I thought this would make a good example, because it has a lot of the issues that come up, and it has a lot of the questions that have come up in this book. And so I think I can take this book and I will take and convert this book over to a Kindle book using Kindle Create. So what is Kindle Create? So Kindle Create is a free app from Amazon. You can download it for free. I'll show you where to get that in a second. And it is used to format your Kindle book. So before Kindle Create came out, and Kindle Create sort of started as the Kindle Comic Creator, and then it was the Kindle something else creator. There's a bunch of different versions of it. There's a textbook creator, but it's kind of, Amazon's been putting a lot of effort behind it, a lot of money behind it, and it's been, let's just see, make sure this is all up and running here. It's been morphing and changing a lot. So if you have the Kindle Create app, it's every time you go into it, they update to a new version of the Kindle Create app. It drives you a little nuts. And it's been changed a lot. But I think all the changes have gone in the good direction. I think it's sort of becoming a sort of a full-on book creation product. So it's a program. Let me show you where we get it. I'm just going to come out of screen share here, remove this. So it's an app that you download from Kindle. It works on Mac or PC. You take your Word file that you've written your book in. It could be a Google Doc, it can be your Word file, anything that's sort of in a text document somewhere. We're going to import that into the Kindle Create app, and then that's where you do your final formatting. And I love it. I think it is one of the most fantastic programs. It makes creating ebooks so much easier than they were before. There's still lots of other ways that you can create ebooks that will run on Amazon. A lot of people use Calibri to do it. You could do it out of Word. You could do formatting. You can get very sophisticated. What I recommend and try to teach to people to do is to treat your Kindle book as just a simple book. don't get fancy, and Kindle Create doesn't let you get too fancy, but you just use that, the Kindle Create app to create your book and get it up on Kindle. So some of the things that it can't do, it cannot deal with tabs. So we're going to talk about that. If you have tabs in your document, it doesn't deal with charts and graphs. It doesn't work around to deal with that. It doesn't deal with headers and footers. So a lot of the things that you do in a normal document, you're not going to do in an ebook. If you just look at Kindle books, they're very simple. I kind of think of them as books from web pages from 1995. It's just HTML code. So if you are skilled and you want to go further and do all kinds of fancy stuff, go do it. Usually what I do is just try to get the print book done, and then I move it over to Kindle and do that. So, all right. So where do you get it? So let me just bring up, let's go to here and show you where you get it, because it's very easy to get. Screen share, application. All right, so I'm just going to bring up, just going to go to a web page, so you can just go online, go to Google. It's in the KDP / Amazon site, but I find the easiest way to get it is just go to Google, type in Kindle Create, and you will get probably the first and the second listing. Either one works, and if you just click on this listing, it will take you to this page on Amazon, and you can download the PC version and you can download the Mac version, either one. All right, so depending on what you have. It also is, as I said, it is limited. It doesn't have a lot of fancy stuff. So if you've done a lot of fancy stuff in your Word doc, that is not going to translate over. And if you're doing a lot of fancy stuff like I did in this book, then you're going to have to make some changes, and that's a whole other video to do how you get this with stuff like this into your Kindle book. It all works. I have this up on Amazon, and you can buy it, but it's a whole different process. So we're not going to do that one in this video. You'll notice there are 4 layouts that you see here. It's nice that they put them here. The first one here is the basic default layout that your book will be: simple chapter, subtitle, drop cap if you want them. You can get a little fancier. You can put it on the left. You can do a little stuff on the right, or the different kind of center stuff. So that's it. You download it, open it. It's free and it's self-contained. Everything is in there that you need to do. So, all right. So let's go look at my book. So whenever I'm doing my workflow process is to do my print books first. So I work in InDesign mostly, though this book, let me go grab it here. This book I did in Word, and I just haven't changed that. And I just bring this up. So this is my Word doc that was for this book. The cover was the first page, and it just kind of went from there. I just did it this way because it was fast and easy, and I didn't have a lot of time. But now I'm going to move forward and probably publish this book. But let's look just quickly through here, because this has some of the problems that people talk about. One is it has this big title at the front. So I've designed a sort of a title page / cover. I have the disclaimer information. You'll notice I have a header, and I've turned on, let me turn off my returns, though I usually leave my invisibles on when I'm working on a book so I can see what I'm doing. This has a header and it has a footer, all right? Neither of those things will come over to your Kindle ebook, all right? They do not translate over, and the Kindle Create just strips them out. I'm going to leave them in there, and you're going to see they just get stripped out and they're gone. Another question that has come up a lot is about page breaks, where things break in the document. And the way to think about a Kindle ebook is that I like to think of it as sort of like water, and water flows into different vessels. The different vessels are your phone, your Kindle reader, your tablet, your computer. They're all different. They're all different sizes. There are all different sizes of Kindle readers. The same text flows into all of those documents. So your text needs to be flexible, right? It moves and changes and fills the space that it goes into. So things like page breaks and stuff like that it doesn't work. Now, where a page break does happen is every chapter head that you have causes a page break. So I have a chapter head right here, and that's where my pages will break, related around the chapter heads. I took a look this morning trying to figure out if there's any other way to put a page break in this document, and I can't find it now. If you were formatting and you're doing HTML and you're doing a little more sophisticated stuff, I'm sure you can figure it out. But on the basic Kindle book, which is what I'm trying to teach here, there are no page breaks outside of the chapter heads, right? So just something to keep in mind. One of the things I love about Kindle Create is that it will create your table of contents for you. So you'll notice my table of contents has page numbers on it. I'm going to prep this file in a moment. I'm going to take all this out because we don't have page numbers. We don't have things like that. The table of contents is generated by the program, which if you ever built Kindle books on a Mac, you discovered was an enormous pain in the neck. It's now so easy. I just love it. So this book has, there's tabs in here. On any place I have a tab, I have to take that out. Kindles also, and this is sort of Amazon is tightening up on things. And I don't know how they would handle this book, but Kindles, you can't write in a Kindle, right? It's an ebook. It's on a tablet. So this workbook I designed to have some sort of worksheet pages in it. You'll notice there's some pages with lines. What I'll do is I'll take these out, right? And we'll do that in a moment. I'll just kind of zip through the file and take all that out. This particular document had a bunch of them, and so we're just going to take those things out. People talk about fonts. The reader, whoever's reading the book, they pick the fonts, right? You just go with whatever the Kindle book has. You just use what they have. So you can put all kinds of fancy fonts. Again, if you want to go down the route of learning how to do all that, you can do it. But I just go with what they give me, all right? It's just easier. The goal is to get the book converted, get it up, move on to the next book. But if you're fussy about your fonts, you can go figure all that out. I'm sure there's plenty of YouTube videos on it. They will do live links. You notice I have live links in here. So I usually put the entire link. You can insert a link. If you select this copy and you go to insert and you do hyperlink, see if this works. I don't know if it'll work. You can embed the links. What I've learned is just put the entire link in here and the Kindle will figure it out and know that that's a live link. That's how I do it. So sometimes a little messy. I don't care. That's what I do. You'll do bolds, do italics, you can do indents, things like that. All that works, and I'll show you that when we get to that stage. So this is just a basic file. This is the book I wrote on how to create a book really quickly. It's just broken into, I thought it would make a good example to show. So what I'm going to do here is just clean out the things that I know aren't going to work. I'm going to leave this in here. This is my about section because you can put photos like that. All photos going into Kindle books or print books, Kindle ebooks or print books, need to be 300 dots per inch. That's the requirement now. So if somewhere you've read that it should be 72 or something else, it's 300 dots per inch because you can take the ebook and make a print book out of it, right? They're trying to morph these two things together. So make sure your illustrations, your photos, whatever you have, are 300 dots per inch. You'll be fine. I tend to do my photos about 6 inches wide. I find if my print book and I had a big photo in here, let's see, like, I don't know, something like this is probably one big photo. I will reduce it down to about 6 inches. I found that actually works pretty well, 300 dots per inch. This is a chart. I would screen capture this chart and turn it into one graphic as opposed to all these bits and pieces. 300 dots per inch. If you have captions on your photos, go back, take your photo in Photoshop or somewhere and add the caption to the photo file. Because, as I said, remember, everything flows depending on the device. Your captions will flow away from your illustrations, right? So if you have an illustration and you have a caption, it's going to go, it'll be in line, but it may not be on the same page, and there's nothing you can do about it. So the way you deal with that is you go back and you adjust your photos and put the captions as part of the file. So that's part of the prep work. So let's just come up. I'm just going to come back up through this document. This is the resource section, and I have let's just come through here. I'm just going to clean out. So this is my workbook section of this file. So let's just come up through here. I'm just going to take all this out because I don't know, this isn't, they can't do anything with this. So I can set it up maybe as a PDF download that they could come and get. So I'm just going to clean out that. If you have lots of space like this, all these little spaces and things, it will be collapsed. You'll see that in a moment. So I'm just going to come back up through my document, just take out anything that is like extra lines and stuff where people had to do stuff. So we'll do this very quickly here. And I go through a whole prep stage where I sort of prep my file. I look for things. If I had tabs in here, like on paragraphs with tabs, I would take all the tabs out. If I have charts, I take out, I'm just going to take this out. I screen capture all my charts and tables and turn them into a graphic. Let's just take all this out. That's what I do. That's the easiest way to deal with it. And let's just see here. We're going to just kind of take all this out. And I would be more careful if this was going to be my final thing, but I'm just going to take this out for the moment. All right. So I think I have everything out. All right. Let's take out the table of contents. Remove this. All right. Because my table of contents is going to be created from my chapter heads. You'll see how that works in a moment. It's pretty cool how they do it. I'm going to leave this in here, but I know I'm going to take this out. I can leave it, but I'm going to just take it out, make it easy. All right, so let's save that file. And now I'm ready to go. This is my file. All right, so let's close this. And let's remove this. And let's go back to screen share. Share. And I have already previously downloaded Kindle Create. So I'm going to just do, I believe I'm going to just do my entire screen so you can see this. Do that. All right. And let's get this going and then we'll get going. All right. So let's move this out of the way and get my Kindle. So I've downloaded it, installed it on my machine. I am now going to go to my applications and open up Kindle Create. And what I'm going to do, this is a new, I've sort of started to do this as a new thing, is to have two windows side by side. So I can look at what my original document is as I format the document in the Kindle Create application. So we'll let this sort of open up here for a second. Today will be the day it decides to be slow. Let's go. But I have been really pleased. Oh, here we go. All right, so this is the basic screen that pops up. Right here, you can see it. You can go to existing project. You can open an existing file, or you can choose a new one. So Kindle Create uses the Word doc or the Google Doc or whatever you have as a text file to format. So I'm just going to choose, and I'm going to navigate. Oops, hold on. Let's not do that. Do that. We'll reopen this again. Sometimes you have to do it a couple times to get it to work right. I should have clicked new. We'll redo this. It's also kind of, sometimes it's touchy, a little touchy, tends to sometimes crash on you. But the benefits of it are so good. All right, here we go. All right, so we're going to do new, create new. And what you'll see is that you can do three kinds of documents. We're going to do the reflowable kind, all right? And so that's going to be this book and the How to Sell book that has pictures in it. It also is set up to do comic books, and it does a great job with comic books. And it also can do PDF books. That'll be one of the videos I'm going to do. So children's books can be moved over extremely quickly and easily using the print part of this. But we're going to do a reflowable. So let's click on reflowable. I'm going to go to choose my doc. So I'm going to go right here, Kindle Create. Here's the doc I just created. And what it does is it converts it. So it's just doing the conversion now. You can see it just kind of runs this little thing as it's thinking about it. And I'll change my window to be full in a second here. Once it's sort of up. So So it's importing everything in, imports the pictures, everything. And so let's just continue that and get started with this. I just want to get rid of that. Okay, let me close the, do this for a second. Let's get this bigger so everybody can see. It's going to be big enough. Actually, let's go full screen. All right, and get this out of the way. So this is the window that pops up. This is the Kindle Create window. This is where you start your project. And it's always going to try to figure out what you did. So I had a document, a Word document, which is right here, and it has titles, it has subtitles, it has all kinds of things in it. And it goes through and tries to figure out what you were doing. And it will give you this little window that pops up where it sort of has figured out what is going on. You'll see all the little titles. These are all the chapter titles and all that kind of stuff. I usually find this is completely wrong, and I ignore this completely. This little window that pops up, just reject it all and throw it away. All right. What you'll see now, this is your screen. On the left-hand side will be the structure of your book, and you'll see these change as I kind of move through the book. On the right-hand side over here, you'll see where you can assign chapter titles, subtitles, other things like quotes and poems and opening quotes and credits. You also have a formatting area here where you can change some font stuff. You can do indent stuff, spacing stuff, colors. You can do color. And if you have color images, go for it, right? On some Kindles, it'll only be black and white. On the other Kindles, it'll be really nice. So it'll be really great color. So this is the formatting area, but we'll spend most of our time in the elements area. And what you'll see now is if I sort of scroll down through this book, you'll see this is how it looks. All right, this is how it comes in. And you'll notice this is orange. Those are my chapter heads. And it can be a little touchy, kind of scrolling through here. But you'll notice it's been simplified out. Here are my links. They're all cool. And everything is in here. The whole book is in here. And let's see, where's that? I think we had a photo up at the front here. There it is. There's my photo. So that came in well. Let's take a look at the back. We had some photos at the back. Let's see how it treated it. That's how I want it to look, right? You have control now. They keep giving more and more features. And one of them is if I click on this picture, or actually, let's click on this picture. You'll see over here on the side, I can do small, medium, large, that kind of stuff. You can do a lot of different things. So we're going to kind of go through the main things quickly and do there. So let me just check my, make sure, let's see here, any kind of just, yeah, okay, great. All right, so that's all good. So one of the questions that came up, has come up in the comments and questions lately, which caused me to go do this, is how do I deal with my title? How do I deal with my table of my disclaimer information? What Kindle Create Space has done is that it used to be you would format this. Now they give you little boxes to put it in. So if you notice here on the right, on the left, sorry, front matter and body. So this is the body. And the front matter, if I open this up, are all the things that go with the front. Title page, copyright, dedication, table of contents, all the introduction, prologue, all of this stuff, you now have a spot to put it. And we're not formatting this anymore. You just dump it into the area that it goes. So if I bring up title page, I'm going to get a box that looks like this, and this is what I do. I just put the title information in here. So what I've been doing lately is I kind of work back and forth. I'm going to shrink this a little bit this way, and I'm going to put this over here. So I have two screens, and I'm just going to type in here my title. I can copy paste it. Okay, so there's the title. My subtitle is right here, and everything needs to be one line. So this is another area that kind of messes people up. I'm just going to copy my subtitle right here. All right, so that's that. Put my name, and my publisher will be me. All right, so that's my title information. You can put a logo in here. You can put some other little stuff in here. If you have multiple authors, illustrators, that kind of thing, you can put those, you can see right there. So that's, all right, so there's my title information. And I think I just have to click on this. Yep, I think we just click on this. Let's see, how do we get out of this? We have to remember how to get out of this. Sometimes you have to kind of create the page. Okay, create the page. That's your title page, right? This is how it looks. So instead of trying to format something, make it look fancy, make it look like your print book, this is what it looks like. You just go with this, right? This is it. You're done. And then what I do is I will now go and delete this information. All of this is gone because I've just added it in. The next thing I want to do is put in my copyright and disclaimer information. I'm just going to select all this. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to go to my front matter. I'm going to go to the copyright page, and they give you a sample copyright stuff. But what I do is I just select it, paste my stuff in there. That's done. This is, I'm the copyright owner, so add that information, your publication, right? So all that stuff, and I can see it all got mushed together. I can come back and fix it. So I might do something like this. I think I can, yep, do that. I can do a little bit of formatting. Right, so you can kind of fix it. So we'll create that page. And there it is, all right? So now you can go back in there and you can sort of format it. Used to be you formatted stuff. This is what you do now, all right? So again, I'm going to come to that page. I'm just going to delete all of this information, right? So now my book is set up. Oh, first thing also, you're going to save. Remember that? Save your project. So let's put this in here and just save it like so. So now I'm just going to go through and format my book. All right, and you'll notice that these things that are orange will start to turn to black as I've identified the different pieces. So my first thing will be this. I'm just going to click in it. I come over. This is kind of like styling. It's exactly like styling, like you might do in InDesign or you might do in Word. I'm just going to hit chapter title. That's the chapter title, right? That's how it looks. Now, if you want a different theme, I can pick different themes, but that's pretty much it. All right, so we'll just go with that. I'm just going to come down through this book. The bolds, whoops, stayed there. And often I will keep this up beside me as I sort of look through the book going, okay, what did I do in this section? All right, that's really a subtitle. So let's come down right here. That's a subtitle. So that's what the subtitles look like, okay, in this theme. So, and I will probably just add an extra space after it, if it will let me do that. Maybe it won't. There it goes, all right? And I will just slowly move my way through the book. At the moment, we'll leave table of contents just like that. It's blank. We're going to put that in that spot. This is my next chapter. So I'm just going to hide that. Now, this is going to be big. Again, you have to remember, this is on a big screen. On a phone, you're going to show you what this looks like pretty shortly here. It's going to change and go all different kinds of ways, right? If it's on a phone, it's going to be small. If it's on a tablet, it's going to be big. And then you can kind of come in here. I usually will put an extra space, and you just kind of work your way through. I'm trying to figure out, is that a subtitle or is it just me being some bold? It's not a subtitle, it's just bold. So I'm just going to leave that bold. All right. Number 2, and you can see you can move through your book. What I've discovered is what used to take days sometimes formatting, you can do in, well, easily hours. You can do a pretty big book pretty quickly. So we're just going to look at it. We're just going moving through this. All right, I'm just formatting this book. Oops. If I wanted to, they have some extra formatting things. I can indent this stuff. But we're just moving through the book nicely. Now let me show you something on the next one. Let's say, whoops, oh, come back. If you had, and if you were designing your book, let's come here. It's very common when you're designing your book to have your heads. You see, these are all just, these are sort of sub chapter heads. I don't need to have all of those things style big. I just leave them. It's very common to have your to have a return in your head. So let's just do that to show you what. Let's say this is long, like one of those long ones I had. Let's just say this is like this. So I have 2 lines here. I'm going to go, oh, that's my chapter head. I'm going to select this. I'm going to select both of them because it's my chapter head. I'm going to hit our chapter title, and you'll get stuff that looks like this, right? There can only be 1 chapter title per chapter. It doesn't know what to do with this. So the way you deal with stuff, if you have in your Word doc or your InDesign, wherever it is, on multiple levels with returns after them, you have to put them all back together. So you reflow it because this has to be all basically one paragraph, right? If it's a 1-word chapter or it's a multi-word chapter title, it all has to be together. So that's something that usually messes people up. It messed me up until I figured out that you have to combine the line all back together and then everything will work. So I'm just going to go through this. Look, I'm already up to 6. We're almost, in reality, we're almost done, right? I could do a little bit more stuff. I just noticed, nope, that's there. If I wanted to add, if I wanted to add a web link to something, I can go up here. I can highlight it. I can go to insert. I can add hyperlink, which is cool. That's a new feature. So that's really cool. I can insert photographs. If I don't like the photograph I have, I can go get another one and insert that. It's very flexible. You know, I mean, we're going to have this book done in, I thought I would just do a few, but actually we're almost done. Let's see here. This is, it's down to number 7. This is a subtitle, so let's make that a subtitle. Okay. And I think I have another subtitle in here. Guide for ebooks. This was kind of a cool book. I wrote this book for this summit talk that I did. It came out really well. It was really fun. I can always come back and fix more of this. All right, so we're almost done here. Let's just do this because I want to show you one of the coolest things that really helps with laying out a book. Now notice over here on the left, you'll notice that these orange things, right? This is Kindle Create's attempt to kind of figure out what I was going to do, that was this a chapter head title or was it not? They tried to figure it out. Now that I have assigned it, you notice that now they turn to black. All right, so now I have told it what each of these titles are. So let's just keep going here. These are all live, so that's why I just leave them. It figures out what it is. We're on number 9. And if I wanted to make, you know, like if I wanted to make a drop cap on this, might be kind of cool. I can do it chapter first paragraph. Let's see, how do we do this? Chapter first paragraph. I guess you can click that, but it doesn't seem to be highlighted. So we're not going to bother. But you can also come in here and do this formatting stuff. So let me show you a little bit. I'll show you that right here. I'll show you kind of what you can do. So here's a long title. This is a long chapter head. All right. So if I had that broken, I would have to put it back together. There it is. It's kind of long, but you just have to go with it, right? This is how it works. This is how ebooks work. And don't worry about that. It looks like that, and it may not be the way that you like it in your Word doc or your InDesign doc. This is just, it's fine, right? So here I have some sections, 2 ebook, 3 ebook, and then I have these sort of sub-bulleted areas. So I can highlight this copy. I can come over to formatting. And if I wanted to, I can go to indent and I can push them over. So I can do quite a bit of formatting. Some of the things that you were doing in Word, you can come back here and do it. So you can do first line indents, all that kind of stuff. You'll notice this Word doc was filled with page breaks. They're all gone, right? There aren't any in here. It's also had lots of extra copies, space. All of that gets taken out. Some of this space after the paragraphs, it will pick up the formatting that you do in your Word doc, but you'll notice right here, it tells me it's 0.59. It's a space before the paragraph. So it's actually off with this one. You can change all that stuff. Actually, it has one, whatever unit, probably 1 pica or 1 something, you can change all that spacing. So if you're going to do that, I would just make everything without any spaces and then come in here and do your formatting. Sometimes it's hard to figure out what is going on. All right, but pretty quickly, I think we're just about at the end of this document. Right, that's my thing, and I have resources, all right? So we'll format that. And this is a subtitle. This is a subtitle. I love putting resources in all my books. Editing, you'll notice there are hyphenations in here. I don't think there's any way you can take them off or take them on. Not that I know of. Editing services, online editing services. We'll just put all these subtitles in here because it's cool to do. Subtitle, subtitle. Again, I can come back. Sometimes if things get stuck and you can't quite get something to click right, sometimes you have to retype the text and assign the style to that and get rid of the original. Sometimes stuff comes over from Word, it gets kind of messy. So, all right, we're just kind of doing this. Oh, save it. Yes, we're going to save it. And let me just look up here. All right, so let me just see where that space is coming from. And let me come down here to my ISBN. It's good to have the other document. You can kind of look and see what did you do and what do you need to do. So it looks like I had a page break. So maybe this did pick up some page breaks. So what I would do here is I will backspace it up and bring it up. All right. So instead of having that big gap in there, I'll compress it back together again. But you can experiment and try, see what works, if page breaks work or not. But all right, we're just about done. Audiobooks, self-publishing resources. Just make this a little better. Okay, repurposing. Oh, wrong thing. Make that sub. And about me. So make that a chapter title. Notice it's breaking in this weird way. That's just what it is, right? Just gonna have to deal with it. And I'm just gonna leave these things like that. All right, so we're done. That's the book. It's been formatted. And I'm gonna save this. I am gonna just check my questions here. Nope, everything's good. Okay. So this is the cool part about using this program. So now you notice everything is in here. Oh, the only thing we have left is the table of contents. So I'm gonna come to my table of contents page. And let me come back up here. I think, whoops, 1, 2, I think I have it right here. I'm going to take this out, like so. All right. And actually, I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to put my return, put an insertion point right here. All right. Actually, we'll call this. We'll make that say table of contents. Put an insertion point underneath it, right here. And I'm going to come up to insert, and I'm going to do insert table of contents. It's right here, right? If I click on this, here's my table of contents. Make sure everything is right. Hit OK. And let's go find that word table of contents because I think it replaced it. Oops, let's see. Guess it just changed contents. There's my table of contents. That easy. It's so easy that this is, excuse me, a live table of contents. This used to be such a pain. Remember, no, there are no page numbers on here because Kindles don't have page numbers because depending what device you're on, it's in different places. But now my book is all set, and now I want to proof it. I want to look at it, and first I will save it. Up here on the right, you'll notice a couple buttons. So print settings, that's used if you are going to send this off to print. That's a new feature they have where you can make a print version of this. I haven't done it yet, but I'm getting ready to sort of test that. You can change the theme. You can save it. Preview, we're going to do right now. And then this is the publish button when we're all done. So let's go to preview. This is just the coolest thing. I'm going to hit preview, and up comes a screen. And I want to just make sure that this is showing up. Yep, there it is. And here is my book. Let's come back to the beginning. This is how it looks on a tablet. So let's look at this screen. You'll see tablet. I can look at it. We'll look at it on a tablet, phone, and Kindle e-reader. This is the font it's picked. I could pick any one of these fonts. Again, that's the reader does that. You don't do that, but there is a way to do it, but I don't know how to do that. You can change the size, tells you the location, and your table of contents. So you can test your table of contents and make sure everything is working. But I can click through this book. Look at that. There it is. Here's my table of contents. This is live. I can click on this. My pictures are in here. They look good. Here's my chapter title. And this is how the book looks on a tablet. Oops. So I need to take that out right there because it replaced it. So let's go. So let's just come out of this. This is where you go back and forth and you proof. So I go, oh, crap. I killed it. Hold on. I got to get it back. So this is what happens sometimes. You hit the wrong thing. Let's go back and get our file. That's why we save, because otherwise I have to do it all over again. And let's get it back. Hit the wrong button. You don't know that. Oh, actually, it just crashed on itself. So we're just going to bring it back up. There it is. Okay. And I'm going to go find that extra word that I stuck in here. Easy book creation. I don't know where it is. Let's go right to here. I'm going to take this out. And we're going to back that up. Just see if we can, there we go. Okay, so it's gone. All right. So you don't need to write the word table of contents. It puts it in. So let's go back to our preview. Make sure I've saved. Preview. There we go. All right. So title page, copyright disclaimer stuff, table of contents. And you can put that wherever you want. You know, if you want it after your introduction or something like that. I liked having it right up the front, but you put it wherever you want. Now the phrase is gone. So here's easy book creation. And you'll notice the whole book is here. And I can just read through the book, check it out, see what's going on. I can click on one of my table of contents. It jumps right to it. Everything's looking just super fabulous. I love it. And you'll notice sometimes this is going to happen. It's an ebook. Things are going to flow and go where they go, right? That's where the break is going to be. On this book, it's here. Somebody changes the point size, it's in a different place. They change the font, it's in a different place. So you just let things go where they go. I can look at it on my phone. So here's how it looks on a phone. Let's come back up here to title page. All right, this is if you have your Kindle app on your phone or something like that, right? So there's the book. We come down here, we come down to the back. You can see how that looks. It's right there. These are live links. Let's look at it on a Kindle e-reader. That's going to be in black and white. Some Kindles are in color, some are black and white. So it looks completely different here. And there you go. That's it. That's the process, right? That's why I love it. That's that quick. I created this ebook that quickly, just going through it. And have created everything. I can turn it sideways, right? See how it looks that way. Okay. So it is amazing. It makes this so easy and so just so easy to do that I don't worry about it. All right. So let's come out of this. Everything stayed. Fantastic. And now all I have to do is let's make sure everything is going good here. If you have a question, let me know. I just hit the publish button right up here. You'll get this window and it's going to make a KPF file. That's the file that you'll upload to Kindle. And I usually put it in the same folder that they give you. So there's a little folder there and I'll just hit save. So that's the KPF. That's the interior book file. Notice there's no cover file in here. It's now ready to publish. There's no cover file in a Kindle. It's a separate file. I'll make that in a separate video to make the cover for this book. I'm going to use Canva. They have fantastic templates. It does a great job. And we can make a really cool cover. That's another video. Maybe in a couple days I'll do that. But that's the process for making this Kindle book. So I think it's so much easier than anything we've ever done before that I think it's definitely the way to go. So let me just look over here. And if anybody doesn't have any questions, I will wrap this up. Where am I? Right here. And let me come out of screen share. And go to here. Oops, it's over here. Figure out where it was. And that's it. All right. So any questions, drop them into the comments section, and I will try to answer them. But you can see that it just flows along very smoothly. You just bring your Word file over, you format it, go through, make your adjustments. I often, as I said, I'll have my Word document sitting next to it. I can kind of look and go, what did I do over here? So what is it? How is it looking over here? And what do I need to change or to fix? Graphics need to be 300 dots per inch. I just drop in the center, 6-inch wide, 300 dots usually makes a pretty nice graphic. When we get to the other book, you'll see that's how I do it for that. And covers are separate. It's going to be 2 files you're going to upload. You're going to upload a cover. You're going to upload this file, this KPF document. And so that's that. All right. When I was trying to format it, when I tried, I couldn't use enter or anything to format it. So I'm not sure what that means. When I was trying to format, let me just look here. Let's just see. That's an older one. All right, I'm just trying to see. When I was trying to format it, when I tried, I couldn't use enter or anything else to format it. So I think hopefully you can see what I did, where I just brought the Word file in, just a straight Word file. If what I would probably do, what I have recommended usually to people who have a big book or a big project or something, is just bring in a few pages. So as you get used to it, instead of trying to dive into the whole project, cut off the first 5 pages, bring that over to it. You'll get it pretty quickly. They also have a lot of videos on their site, but just start with something basic. Don't bring in the fancy thing. Bring in the basic thing. Go through and style a couple chapter heads and a little bit of body copy. Maybe you indent something, put something into that title area, and just get used to it. And then once you're used to it, then bring in the other one. I don't quite understand this question, but trying to format it, I tried, but I couldn't use enter or anything to format it. So that's what I would recommend to do, is just bring in some sample text, get that to work, and then you'll get more comfortable with it, and then bring in the rest. So, all right, I think I will wrap that up. If you have questions, drop them in the comments. I can get back to you, or we'll do another video on it, or troubleshooting video. But this is the way I do them. I do all my ebooks this way. And as I said, I'll be doing a couple more videos on the cover. One question I think is your copyright section there. We just, I don't think so. That's a great question. I'm going to just take a quick look. I don't think so. Let's see, edit the page. No, but I wouldn't worry about it. I would just let it, no, it looks like you can't. So I would just let it be. So this is a really good question. Is your copyright section a way to justify the paragraph? Because they're sort of moving you to putting things in these boxes, it looks like you can't. So again, I just try to work with their system. You know, this is how they're sort of doing it. They're trying to standardize some things, and that's the route I would go. So, all right, we'll talk to you soon. All right, bye-bye. Thanks a lot.